Well, that was abrupt. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Walking with God. I am your host, Kyle Walker, and you're tuning in on WYTV7 coming out of Kansas City this fine evening. I see that we have one person on board, so whoever you are, thank you so much for joining us. I'm trying to fight with Facebook again, as per usual, to see if maybe I can't see what people are saying. I can't even see the chat window at this point. Oh well, what are we going to do? Anyway, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I certainly had a good one. There we go. Libby's in. All right, so we know we're working. I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you did too. My kids and I ate until we could not eat anymore. We played in our annual Thanksgiving Day football game, which was always fun. We never announced who was the MVP, but I would like to nominate myself, because 2 touchdown catches, I think, is pretty good for the annual Thanksgiving Day football game. I don't know, maybe there's a better candidate, but I'm nominating me. And since we haven't chosen anyone, I'm just going to declare myself the winner. Go team. So anyway, that was good. Feel free to share your Thanksgiving stories on the website, on the page. Yeah, I always enjoy hearing what people did. I'm sorry, I have a hair or something hanging down from my hat, and it's tickling my head. I'm off to a rip-roaring start tonight. I did want to let everyone know that if you haven't seen it, although I don't know how that's even possible, today is what they call Giving Tuesday. So we had Black Friday, and then yesterday was Cyber Monday. You know, everything that all the retailers can come up with to get us to buy stuff online. But today, to finish it all up, is Giving Tuesday. So if you have not yet gone out and made your charitable donation, which if you have a cause that you support, then by all means make sure you support that cause, especially today. Allegedly Facebook will match a few of the contributions, so if that's actually the case, then today is the day to give. I put on Facebook that this is the case, but I want to reiterate, like, this show, Walking with God with me, this is not a 501c3. This is just the show that I do. So people have asked if they could donate to my show before. Well, I very, very much appreciate the thought. I am not set up to take donated funds. Honestly, I don't want that responsibility of handling other people's money. So what you can do is go to WYTV7. Please feel free to donate there. You could even, I think the term is, earmark it for my show for the benefit of, or because of, or whatever you want to put down. But WYTV7 is the 501c3 not-for-profit organization, so please feel free to donate to them on behalf of the show. If you mildly enjoy what I do, that would be a huge honor if there was a donation made kind of in my name, or in the show's name, shall we say. If you want to go a different route, as you know, and I'm going to plug here, my veteran outreach organization, Team Fidelis, also a 501c3. They are set up to take charitable donations, and of course would appreciate any donating that you might do. So those are the 2 that I'm going to suggest to you. WYTV7 for the sake of this show and just keeping the station up and running and keeping us going strong, which we are doing. And then Team Fidelis, who in the Kansas City area is responsible for ending the epidemic of veteran suicide. So there's my plugs. There we go. You please donate however you see fit. But it's really awesome if you could do something today, especially if it gets matched out there in the Facebook world. I think that, like they said, up to $2 million. So $2 million going to any charity is a really great and huge thing. So we're going to move on from that. We're not afraid on this show to talk about the more difficult subjects. And this isn't really, this is kind of difficult, but we've talked about the things going on right now about these mass shootings that have been going on, and just terrible, terrible things. Well, it's probably not national news at this point, but we had one very, very close to home on Black Friday. If you are not familiar with the area, there's a Costco in what we call Lenexa, Kansas, and we actually had an armed gunman on Friday morning just march on in there, and he was ready to do some damage. And thankfully, fortunately, he was taken down by an off-duty police officer, not even in that jurisdiction, who was just there shopping on that day. And he was stopped before he could do anything terrible and awful. So that is, that's a Costco that I've been to many, many times. It is, it was, of course, the first weekend of Christmas shopping. It was packed. And thankfully, good guy with a gun was able to stop a bad guy with a gun. And that's really the best you can hope for. So thank you to that officer. I didn't find this out until today that I actually had an acquaintance of mine who was in there with her children at that time. They were sent running out one of the doors and ended up at the house of someone just in the neighborhood behind the Costco waiting for a ride to come get them, as of course the parking lot and everything was shut down. So a very scary time, a very near tragic event, but no one was hurt. No one that matters anyway. The gunman was taken down, but I'm very thankful that we avoided tragedy in our neck of the woods here in Kansas, as that could have been really, really bad on a first weekend of Christmas shopping type situation. So, we're going to talk about these kind of things. We're going to, as Joe told us a few weeks ago, we're going to call these things what they are. And that was just an evil guy looking to do evil. And he was stopped by a good guy. That's really the only way that you can spin it. You got to look things and call them what they are. That was evil, but it was stopped. So fortunately for us, and a happy ending to that story. But keep those people in your prayers, because no matter what happens, that will mess with your mind, and that is very difficult to get over. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The next thing that we're not going to shy away from, trying to lighten the mood a little bit, I spent all day today with absolutely nothing for tonight. I could not think of a single thing that I really needed to discuss or really wanted to get out there to you folks. A lot of times I don't have any problems coming up with topics for the show. That was not the case today, as I struggled with this all day long. So, like I do sometimes when I have a show writer's block, we'll call it that, I took it to the Facebook world, and I kind of wanted to see what people thought they'd want to talk about. And really the response was interesting, certainly not something that I anticipated. Of course, we want to talk about the holidays, because the holidays are coming up. We're past Thanksgiving, we're heading on to Christmas, and of course this, especially for the divorced people, very difficult time of year. Been there, done that, believe me, I understand. But there was an aspect mentioned on Facebook today that I personally had never really thought about. As you know, that I think I've mentioned before, my parents were divorced when I was preteen to teenager. And so, I'm a child of divorce. Now my kids are children of divorce, and this, that, and the other. But what was brought up was there were people who also from, we'll just call them broken homes, that's the term people use, who expressed that they oftentimes felt sorry or felt scared or had a lot of different emotions for the parent that they weren't with for the holidays. So to equate it to maybe my first Christmas post-divorce, I didn't have my kids. Their first Christmas was with their mother. And so people were saying, well, those kids might sometimes worry about the other parent. Okay, I mean, that makes sense to me. Yeah, worry about the other parent. It is certainly a lonely time. It's not a fun time. I think my kids are probably a little too young to really grapple with that kind of in-depth emotions, but not all people are. So what we're going to kind of talk about here is ways to combat that. If it is not your Christmas, if it is not your holiday, and let's say this is your first time, it is going to be a difficult time for you. I guarantee it. And I wish there was some magic way I could make everything feel better and make it not an issue, but it's absolutely going to be the case. It's going to stink this year, and I'm sorry. That's why I told you a couple weeks ago for the Thanksgiving episode, this is where you can work on you, and you can work on starting your traditions and starting on the things that are important to you. Because when you do have your kids, even if it's not, Christmas night, if you're not leaving the cookies out for Santa and you're not leaving the milk out there to go bad, you're still going to see them during the holiday season, and you're still going to have your moments, and you're still going to make your new traditions as really kind of the three of you, as it's been with me. I'm sorry, maybe it's more. Three for me, myself and my two daughters. So I'll show you one of the traditions we did. And I won't go through all of these because it's been almost 8 years. But my first Christmas post-divorce, I made it a thing that we always got our Christmas pictures done. So here's what we had the first year. Oh, sorry, I'm going to try and avoid the glare. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's Lon, my 11-year-old, and then Caitlin, who's now 8. She's the little kid. And thankfully, due to the webcam, you can't really see the haircut that I was sporting at that time, but it was really bad. So we do this every year. And here, I'll show you last year's. A little different. But see, look, there's my girls now. There's me and them, and yeah, go us. That was something that was important to me. It was always very important to me that we do Christmas pictures as kind of the three of us, as a family. It was not something that my wife ever really cared about at the time. She liked Easter pictures, but Christmas was important to me. So again, I tell you, please start working on your traditions, because it is going to be important. Let me see here. What else do we have? A thing that we will definitely caution: make sure, whether the kids aren't with you for the holiday or they are, don't make your kids, we've talked about this before, this is no duh, Kyle, but we're going to repeat it anyway. Don't make your kids take sides. All right, don't play the game of, oh, wouldn't you rather be with me when Santa comes, or oh, wouldn't you rather be here, or oh, wouldn't you rather be there. Nobody wins when we play that game. Matter of fact, we can't pit our kids against the other family, either which way. Okay, see, I remember how bad it was for me in my first year and how I hated being alone, but I was able to think, the second year of divorce, when it was my ex-wife's turn to not have the kids, I do remember thinking to myself how bad she must feel, because I felt that bad the year before, and it was her first time to go through it. Now, to be fair, she got remarried about 5 minutes after the ink dried on the other guy's divorce, so she had like 1 year where she had to deal with this. I've had to deal with this every other year for the last 7. Now, this year coming up, my year, kids will be with me. We will do all the goofy Christmas Eve traditions. We will all go to bed in our matching Christmas pajamas, and we will wake up after Santa Claus comes. That's happening. So, sorry, everyone. But I have dealt with the times where it wasn't. I've dealt with the times where they were at their mother's, where it was just me, myself, and I had to wait until the next day at noon to go pick them up, bring them back to the house to see what Santa Claus left them. And that takes away about 98% of the magic of Christmas. So I get it. Something you might want to consider. This is what I did. Because again, I've never, even from moment one, believed in pitting the homes against each other, especially at the holidays. I think that's just a terrible time. I want to make sure that the girls are always able to, wish their mother a Merry Christmas, even if they're with me. And the first time that I had them for Christmas, yeah, we agreed, have them back by noon. I took them back earlier. There's just something special about Christmas morning. We did everything with me that we were going to do. We opened our Santa presents. We had our breakfast. We took our pictures. We were done. So I took them back to their mothers a couple hours early so that she could have some Christmas morning with them. And I'm sure I'll do that again this year. That's kind of become a thing, and it's reciprocated. She does that as well. It is not just firm, noon, you can't touch them any sooner, bah humbug on you. That's not the case. Also, to that point, my first Christmas, the girls and I stopped at the one place that was open on Christmas. And to all you Quick Trip employees who have to work on Thanksgiving and on Christmas, you guys are awesome. Thank you so very much for the work that you do. Now, to my understanding, working at Quick Trip on Christmas and Thanksgiving is voluntary, and they're compensated well. Excellent. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you all very much for your efforts. Anyway, on the way back to my girl's house, we stopped at Quick Trip, and I did the only thing I could think of on that day. I bought their mother, and I even bought their stepfather just some $5 scratch-off tickets. Who knows, maybe they won thousands. I don't know. But just a little something so that when I drop the girls off, you can hand them something, you can say Merry Christmas, and then you just go on about your day. So I highly encourage everyone, don't pit the homes against each other. And just remember that even though I may not have dealt with it because of maybe my age when my parents got divorced, or just the fact that my father was gone, yeah, the kids might have some difficult, interesting, hard to explain, confusing feelings regarding the other house, the home that they're not with for the holiday. Whether that be they're with you and they're thinking about the other parent, or they're with the other parent and thinking about you. Don't undermine what they're feeling. okay? Because I honestly didn't know it was a thing until I was told today. But it is a thing. It was voiced by several people, and so I want to make sure that I just pass that along to kind of the everyone out there, that this is absolutely an issue, and it's something that you wouldn't want to put on your kids, and you wouldn't want to put it on them at the holidays. So keep it in mind. I'm going to keep it in mind. I would like to think that it's something that I have not botched in my post-divorce life. Who knows? Maybe my ex-wife feels differently. Maybe she has her own show where she says, "You wouldn't believe what this jerk did to me around the holidays. It was awful." I suppose that possibility is there. So that was something that came to us from the Facebook world. And, you know, I hope it helps. If it makes sense to you guys, then awesome. It certainly made sense to me. And if you're one of the people who voiced that concern, I hope I did your concern justice tonight. And if not, blow me up and let me know. We're just going to go with that. I'm going to check on here. I think I see some comments, and let me see if I can figure this out. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. It looks like everything is coming from my wonderful producer who's helping me out. That's awesome. All right, thank you. So that's going to be that. And like I told you guys, tonight I struggled for subject matter. Let me see. Yeah, and really that's it. I wanted to also share with you guys just some thinking that I was doing myself. So, you know, my church, and I've mentioned them here before, it's the same church that we got Joe from, and Jason Morris, who joined us about a month ago. Again, both guys who I love talking to, and I think they offer so much. Westside Family Church, and they have asked me to really just give kind of a little 2-minute deal during the church services all morning on December 10th. And it's 2 minutes on really, it's on the love that Jesus has shown for me in my circumstance. And so I'm going to just get up on the stage. I'm going to go through my 2 minutes. I'm going to kind of explain that. And then I'm going to light the Advent candles, which is super cool. And a church of over 5,000 people, the fact that they've asked me to do that, I'm very honored to do this. Now, I have also thought about this, and I've thought, I don't know really what all to say, you know, to the church. It's about love, and it's about the love that Jesus has shown me. Okay, well, you know, what is that? And then I kind of got to thinking, you know, about that. At the same time, I'm also thinking about the show I was going to do tonight, and then it kind of occurred to me, you know, this right here, this show that we've been doing it now for almost 6 months, is really, to me, kind of shows the love that Jesus has for me and the love that he has for us. The fact that I get to talk to everyone for a half hour every week, and the fact that I have this platform to do it. And I've told you guys before that when I decided I wanted to help divorced men, it never occurred to me that it was going to be through the lens of a Christian-based podcast / radio show. That was something that was kind of, you know, that's the direction that we went, and that's what was offered to me, but that was never something that I actually set out to do. So really, I think that it is because of the love that Jesus has for us that he has sent us all down this avenue. So I wanted this show to be for divorced men. Well, really, I have more female listeners. And honestly, I have more married female listeners, and I have single female listeners, and I have married men, and I have divorced men, and I have single men, and the mix of the people who are watching this is infinitely more than I just thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to speak to divorced men. But as it turns out, through this and through the Christian lens, I have been able to reach so many more people than I ever anticipated. And really, this is just showing me really kind of the love that has been bestowed on me. I have taken a terrible situation, and no one's ever going to argue that divorce is not a terrible situation, because it absolutely is. I've been able to take this, and after getting over my own hurt, my own pain, and coming back to Jesus, I've been able to take this, and I've been able to share it, and I've been able to focus it, and I've been able to put a name on it, and the name is Walking with God with Kyle Walker, WYTV7, and I've really been able to take everything I've learned, and everything I've experienced, and everything that has kind of turned me into the person I am today, whether that's good or bad, and share it with the world. And I mean, seriously, we're sharing this with the world. There are people out there wearing my t-shirts. There are people who have recognized what I've done. We're international. We're big in India. And it's not because I'm some great orator who can sit here and just spill the beans and make everything simple and make everything great and solve all your problems. I'm just an idiot with a microphone who's been through it, and I'm willing to talk about it, and I'm willing to listen to other people talk about their experiences, and then we are going to all take this to God and figure out what we're going to do with it. And it's just the coolest thing. I've been sitting here thinking about it today, and it's really exciting. If you look at what I thought it was going to be as compared to what it is now, it's beyond what I ever thought, and it's beyond anything I personally would be capable of. We are being blessed in what we're doing, because we're doing this really in Jesus' name to try and help people of all walks of life get through potentially terrible situations, and that is just super cool. So I wanted to share that. I hope it makes sense. I know I kind of a little ramble there, but I wanted to share that with everyone. So I can't go into that at the church service. I'm only allowed 2 minutes, and that was a little more than 2 minutes. So I'm going to spill it upon you guys. So that is, I got to stop saying so. Sorry, that's almost as bad as But really, that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Just a few things. We haven't really been harping much on the phone line number. Phones are always open at 980-202-2915. Love a phone call if you feel called to do so. You can tweet us. It's at WWGKW. That's what we are on Twitter. And then, of course, you're watching us here on Facebook, or at least 4 of you are watching us here on Facebook as we're doing this live. But as I've seen every week, more people tune in, off hours when we're not live. Really, the weekends are where we get the most listeners and the most viewers. But we're right here on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and really you can find us at all these different places. And I don't care how you listen to us. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. You listen to us however you want to listen to us. You listen to this show however you want to listen to it. And then, of course, you can check out everything else that WYTV7 does. All the other people who are just like me, who devote their time and devote their passions and do this all with no expectation of compensation. We don't get paid for this. We're all volunteers. This is what we want to do. We want to share with everyone to just try and help you through a bad situation, whether it be financial, because we've got a financial person, whether it be spiritual, because we have people who can blow me out of the water with spiritual knowledge, or whether it just be a ding-dong like me. Everyone is here because they want to do more, and they don't ever want to settle for somebody hurting unnecessarily. And that's why I'm here. Yeah, I don't make a dime off this. I don't even want your money. I want you to give it to WITV7, and we will let people much smarter than me do what they can with it. So that's where we're at. Really, we've got 5 more minutes left. I thought there was something else I wanted to look at. I don't like Facebook's new chat window. Oh, look at that. I can see the viewers, though, that are on. Kathy is on. Danielle is on. Carrie is on. Libby. Hey, look at that. I can actually see who's on now. Amanda's on. Hey, this is the coolest thing. All right, I take it back, Facebook. I'm not mad at you for changing things around. I can at least see some of the viewers now. That's cool. I just can't see what you're saying. So if you people are calling me names, then I can't see that. So we'll have to figure out a way where we can see the live questions if anybody has that. So anyway, please feel free to give us a call. Reach out on Facebook if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I don't often ask. I mention it every once in a while, but we are still trying to get to 500 likes on Facebook. Likes are very important in the Facebook world. If you could please give this little page a share or invite your friends to like it, that would be super great. Facebook doesn't take you serious until you're over 500 likes. Once we're over 500 likes, then Facebook will do more to get this show, to get WYTV7, to get all of us kind of out more in the world. And I do say all of us because we're all doing this together. I wouldn't have had anything to talk about tonight if people weren't able to share with me and just kind of bring up what troubled them and what experiences they've had. So I need all of you guys, probably way more than you need to listen to me talk for a half hour. So please give this page a like and a share, and tweet us, and we're on Instagram and YouTube. I mean, we're everywhere. So please find us. We're going to cut a little short tonight because that's all I got, and I'm not going to sit here and ramble at you for 3 more minutes. Let's close it out in prayer, and then we'll get out of here. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for getting us through the holidays and through Thanksgiving, where we give thanks for all that we have. And like I said 2 weeks ago, I give thanks to everybody who watches, everyone who listens, everyone who shares their opinions and shares their thoughts and gives feedback and just tries to make this show better so that we can better serve you and what you want for us to do. So we give thanks to you, Lord, for bringing us back here every week and for keeping us all together and making this show more than just a show. We're family, and family in the holidays is the most important thing. Keep everyone focused as we head into the Christmas season. It's fun to talk about Santa Claus, and it's fun to make snowmen and bake the cookies, but it is because of the birth of Christ that we are able to do all these things and to celebrate. And please keep us focused on what is really important, and that is Jesus in this season. It's a season of fun, but it is also a season to remember the birth of our Lord and Savior. Bring us back next week. Keep everyone safe, especially in these troubled times with these crazy events, this craziness. I think I lost my connection. Anyway, if I'm still connected, just remember, we're all on the same team here. I love all of you. I don't care where your political affiliations lie. I don't care about any of that stuff. I love you. Jesus loves you. Let's be good to each other, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week, everybody.